It's a new week with your favorite show at this time of the hour, Faith and Melody, the program where we have meaningful conversations about our faith as members of the Church of Christ, while we also listen to inspiring INC original music. And today, we're talking about kindness and how it matters. We're so excited for you to join us and to share your thoughts and insights with us. So let's get started with our first song on our playlist, which is entitled People of God, Give Him Glory.
Philippine Arena! We wake up in the morning, fully aware of life's burden, living by resurrections, living true obedience. We were promised salvation at the end of our journey, so we made daily decisions to renew our lives to save us. Yes, we know what to do, we know who we are. To fall, here from afar, too blessed to be stressed. Yes, we truly are. The church of God. People of God, raise your voices high. We are the ones who are given this right. Sing His love, give Him glory. People of God, let His praise be shout. We were once lost, but now we are found. Sing His love, give Him glory. We will never lose focus. Sharing the truth of God's promise. He was the one to know this. There's nothing that can stop us. We know what to do. We know who we are. Into the fold, hail from afar. Too blessed to be stressed. Yes, we truly are the Church of Christ. People of God, raise your voices high. We are the ones who were given this right. Sing His love, give Him glory. Let's go! People of God, let His praise resound. Hey, He was lost, but now we are found. Sing His love, give Him glory. Clap your hands for the Lord. Clap your hands up. The best. Clap your hands up. Somebody rock. Seraphim, praise His name. People of God, raise your voices high. We are the ones who were given this right. Sing His love, give Him glory. One time, we know what to do. We know who we are for. Into the fold, hail from afar too. Let's to be stressed. Yes, we truly are the Church of God. One time, we know what to do. We know what to do. Into the fold, hail from afar. We know what to do. We know who we are. Give Him glory. We wake up in the morning, fully aware of God's purpose.
Don't be afraid to take the baby steps. It's another day. Don't forget God's just a prayer away. Don't give up now. Trust the process and keep learning. And if you need a friend, we're in this together, together, together. We're in this together, together, together. We're in this together, together, together. Together as a family in faith and melody.
Yes, hello, hello. What's up, everyone? And welcome back together with your favorite show at this time of the hour with INC Radio's Faith and Melody. Welcome back, everyone. Hopefully, you've all had a great weekend, a great start to a new week as well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on which part of the world you're tuning in from. And of course, for those of us that's tuning in all the way from the Philippines, magandang umaga, tanghali at gabi. Thank you so much for tuning in with us and joining us on this beautiful day so that you can share with us your insights and your thoughts on today's topic where we'll be talking about kindness matters. So whether you tuned in live or on the replay, make sure you tune in and you share your thoughts and insights. We would love to hear your perspective on the topics. Of course, with all of you there, it's a way for us to all grow together and become better together. Now, I'm one of your hosts for today's broadcast here on Faith and Melody, your Kuya J Esperanza, broadcasting all the way from the land down under here in the district of Australia West.
And I am Sister Arabelle Celestino coming all the way from London, United Kingdom, and I will also be one of your co hosts for today. And yes, what would you expect from today's show? Well, we will be starting off with our icebreaker segment, and we will have our curated selection of INC original music, and of course, our faith and melody heartbeats. So let us know if you have any song requests in Team Live Chat, and and hopefully we'll be able to play them for you. And continue to join us as we will be having our topic discussion and followed by our verse of the week. And for those tuning in right now, don't forget to subscribe, of course, and to continue to join our team live chat. And if you haven't done so yet, also press the like button. And yes, that's it for me for now. And of course, when before you sorry, when you subscribe, there's also a bell button by the subscribe button. And if you do so, you'll be able to stay connected and stay updated with the various INC radio shows that we have, not only at this time of the hour, but throughout the day. So it's an ongoing streaming and ongoing live streaming. So if you would like to continue to be updated, uh, press that bell button as well so that you can be in the loop as well. So for now, since it's me and Kuya J today, let's start with our icebreaker.
Icebreaker!
All right. So for our icebreaker today, we've got one of our favorites that we haven't done for a little bit, which is our alphabet game. So this is basically a simple A to Z of what activities you can do with friends, with people that you care about, your close friends. What are some activities that you can do beginning from A all the way to the letter Z? And just write it there in the live chat. So if you're tuning in with us and you're joining us in our live chat, just go ahead and get started because we know that there's a little bit of delay and sometimes we want to see if live chat can get all the way from A to Z with all of these different activities before me and Sister Bell are able to complete it because I think most of the time live chat is a little bit more ahead of the game when it comes to this. But our icebreaker, Adibel, I say it's A to Z. Do you pronounce it Z or Z?
I say
The letter.
Z.
You say
Well,
Z as well?
I say Z personally, but I don't
Okay.
know if they say Z or Z here in the UK.
Personally, I say Z, I think. Well, that's what I've been saying anyway. So I think I'm pretty sure it's interchangeable. Sometimes I kind of like go back and forth between the two pronunciations. But with that, before we start, because I know live chat can get started already if they want to join in. Just want to give a quick shout out to some early birds that's tuning in with us and saying hello with us there in our live chat. So I think at the very first at the onset of our show, we have our Ohana, our Ate Care, Ate Carolyn Shank, that's saying hello, good day to everyone there. And of course, our Kuya Mario Oka that's also tuning in with us. I know it's midnight there in the Philippines. So, Kuya Mario, magandang midnight and maraming salamat for always staying up and also supporting INC Radio, even though it's a little bit late there in the Philippines. I know it's 12:10 a.m. from my estimation, 12:11 a.m. just turned over there in the Philippines. Tuesday morning in the Philippines right now, live on this broadcast. So thank you so much to everyone that's tuning in at this time. And of course, we've got our brother Nathan and Russell that's also there in our icebreaker. He's saying for him, he also says Z for the letter, the last letter of the alphabet. He says for Kuya Nathan, he says Z as well. So good to know, right? I don't know who says Z. Sometimes maybe I don't know. I kind of go between the two. But let's start. Atibel, did you want to go first? Did you want to start off with the letter A and then we'll take turns and see if we can get all the way to Z?
Okay. A.
So this is any activity that you can think of, beginning with that letter, that would be fun to do with friends.
Okay. Acrylic painting. A.
Wait, acrylic painting? Does it got to do with your nails? Because I don't you do that with nails, acrylic nails and stuff?
Yeah, but there's also clear acrylics for like painting, I think. So I'll go with that. It starts with
Okay,
A.
with A. All right. For B, I'm gonna go with breakdancing.
Whoa! Can you show
Because
us some?
that is fun to do with friends, right? Especially if you don't know how to do it. It's fun to kind of like figure out some of those breakdancing moves, right? You watch some of our brothers and sisters in the faith from the KPTD, which is I think it's pronounced kapatid, right? But basically the dance group that we have, the KPTD, who they do a lot of the kind of like hip hop breakdancing kind of moves. So that's pretty cool. But over to you. Actually, really quick shout out there, our Ohana and live chat. We've got Kamel Kanukum, who's also clarifying over there in Canada. They say the letter Z as Z in Canada. I think Care says Z equals Canada. So I think mostly the people in Canada say Z instead of Z. But yes, hello to Kamelka and to Ate Care that's there. Ate Bell, over to you. C.
C. Cooking. It would be fun to cook with your friends. Or yeah.
I'm gonna go with D and say dining out. Since you said cooking,
Oh,
I'm gonna say dining out with friends is always fun. We always end up getting off topic every time we talk about food, right? Especially here on Faith and Melody. But dining out with friends doesn't have to be expensive, but yeah, dining out. So that's D. Kuya Nathan there in live chat says for C, car trips, right? So we've got car trips there. Kamelka also shares with B, bowling with friends. And Kuya Nathan with D, dim sums, right? Dim sums with friends. That's cool. What letter are we up to now? E.
E. Um, I've done it once with my friends, once or twice with my friends. So I'm gonna say escape room because
Oh, yes.
it's so fun
Yes.
and it's so interactive as well. And you need to use your like you need to help each other find clues to to escape that room. So I think escape room is a really good activity to do
I
with.
think it's in the title, right? It's in the name because in case there's some of our viewers that's tuned in and listening, it's like, what's an escape room? It's pretty much in the in the name, right? They put you in a room and it's locked. You have to figure out how to get out of the room, and there's generally clues and stuff. So that's pretty cool. So that's E. I was thinking eating. That's the first word that came to my for E. But over there in our live chat, Ate Tony's there. Ate Tony Rose Valenzuela saying hello to us. Hello to everyone. Email chain letters from Kuya Nathan for E. Kamelka says eating with friends. Kuya Nathan is already an F. So we're trying to see if live chat is able to get to Z before we get to Z, right? We're doing if you just tuned in with us, we're doing the A to Z of activities you can do with friends. So live chat is already on F because we've got finding a place to eat. right? So that's for Kuya Nathan. I will go with F. What's what's another one? I think I'm gonna take Kuya Nathan's one just so that I can get through this. Finding a place to eat, or yeah, I think I've got a bit of a mind blank, so I'll go with that with Kuya Nathan's one. How about you, Atibel? For G, what's an activity you can do beginning with G with
G.
friends?
G. I'm not quite sure. Um, there's a blank. Um, Team Live, so please help me. But G, creature.
I'll help you out a little bit. I'm gonna say golfing, going
Golfing.
golfing, right? I mean, it's not my cup of tea, but I know a lot of people that love to go golfing, right? Even the mini golfing ones, right? The ones where it's like not the full size golfing course, where it's like just the small ones. I'll help you out with G, right?
Okay,
With H, can you think of one for H?
one hiking. It's
Hiking. I
it's
thought you'd say
tiring
that.
sometimes, but it's fun. Like it's I think it's worth it at the end because you get to see a nice view and you're still with your friends.
True, true. Um, since it's winter here at the moment, for the letter I, I'm gonna go ice skating because that's usually when it becomes really popular. Because I know it makes sense to go during summer because it's cooler in there, but a lot of us go during winter as well, ice skating. So that's fun to do with friends, right? Ice skating. H I, J. Can you think of an activity to do with with the letter J? While you're
J.
thinking, I'll give you a couple of moments to think. Quick shout out as well over there in our live chat that's just tuned in. We've got Ka Teresita Patata is there saying good evening to us. Um, so if you just tuned in with us, we're currently doing an icebreaker. We're just breaking the ice, A to Z, A to Z, depending on which country you're in. A to Z of any activity you can think of, friends. We're trying to see who can get to the letter Z first. We've got goose feeding from Kuya Nathan for the letter G. He's got H, housewarming. Ice skating. Ate Tony says ice skating as well. Ice cream is there as well from Kuya Nathan. Kuya Mario Oka is there as well. Kamel Kanukum is there. Ice cream and ice shave with everyone. That's true, right? Ice shave. That's a nice one. Um, so Jay, at the bell, what's an
Well,
activity that you,
plan a journey. I know it starts with a J.
that's true. Jour, jour,
Journey.
instead of journaling, it's journeying. Okay, so just J. We've got Kamelka saying, joking with friends. Kuya Nathan says there, J, Monday Faith and Melody live chat. HIJK. K, I'm going to say, what's an activity with the letter K? Uh, I don't know if it's called the same everywhere in the world, but kayaking. Kayaking.
Ooh.
Going on. Do you know what
We,
that is?
yeah, it's basically going with a
It's a
canoe.
water. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a water activity. It's like canoeing, but with a kayak. Kayaking.
That's
It's a JK. Um, L.
okay.
Over to you for the letter L.
L. Um,
L's
making
a tough
lemonade.
one.
I know
Oh,
that it's not,
lemonade.
but at least like lemonade. I don't know. That's what is on top of my head. So I don't know. Making lemonade, although it starts
Okay.
with M, but at least lemonade starts with an L.
Well, wait, were you at M, L, M, L?
I think it's
Like
L.
lemonade making, right?
Yeah,
Lemonade making.
yeah.
With for me, for the letter M, oh, Kuya Ate Tony has a good one. I like that one from for the letter L. Ate Tony says laser tag, right? Who doesn't love a game of laser tag? So, oh, kickboxing, right? Kamelka's got K for kickboxing. Kuya
Ooh.
Nathan says just killing time, just killing time, just watching the birds, I guess. L M M M. What's an activity beginning with M? Can you think of one, Ate Bell? Um, m-
Um,
We all have a mind blank. I don't think anyone's got M.
M.
even live even live chat doesn't have M. How about we say mic? Well, okay, we'll say microphone singing.
Microphones.
without without saying the K version where you go to like a store to sing just in case if that's a brand, but microphone singing that's an activity, right? Where you just sing on a microphone all your songs. Oh, Kuya Nathan's a good one. Mall, just going to the mall, right, with friends. That makes sense. Going to the mall. That's better than my one. I can see Ate Belle's thinking of one for the letter N. Are you? It looks like you're thinking really
Yes.
hard.
But I see that in Team Live Chat they also said, Sister Malka said making sushi. Oh, that's really yummy. And then Sister Gem Esperanza said, movies. That's a good one. I think we're all like really thinking and squeezing our brains right now.
That's
Let's
true.
see.
Shout out to Sister Gem. Hi to my wifey that's there in live chat, Sister Gem Esperanza. Hello, hello. Thank you for tuning in. Um, okay, I've got N, the letter N. N for November. What's an activity to do with friends beginning with the letter N? And I have nothing. And that begins with the letter N. But that's not the activity. Kuya Nathan's got there without saying the name of the console, your favorite video game console that starts with the letter N. But what's another? There's got to be something else that you can do. That's an activity that begins with the letter N. I know one. Um, Netball. That's a sport, right?
Oh, that's a sport.
Netball. Okay, there we go. We got netball for that. LMN. I need to know my alphabet. LMN. O.
Oh.
Oh, over to you, Tibel.
Oh. Um, I'd say orchestra.
Orchestra, right? If you're part of an orchestra, that's nicer to be part of when you have friends instead of being alone. Because if you're just by yourself, you're not an orchestra.
No,
You're a soloist.
my brother Nathaniel said, "Oh, order pizza."
Ordering pizza.
Yeah.
Ate Tony says, N for napping. With friends? I guess like if you just all go to sleep, that's nice. Element N O P. Kuya Nathan has a good one for the letter P. He's got their paintball. Have you ever gone paintball? Uh,
No. Yeah.
it's uh you just got to be careful that you wear the protective gear because you'll end up with bruises, right? If you
Oh,
ever go paintballing, that's it's fun, right? You just run around and it's fun, but you also got to make sure you wear the protective gear. You don't want to end up with a bruise like I did.
oh,
Um, but another one that starts with the letter P. So paintball's a good one. Paintball's a good one. P, para sailing. Parasailing,
that's
right?
so cool. Yeah, I've never done that, but I've seen some videos, and that looks so fun to do, especially with
We're
friends.
almost there. We're on P, but yeah, right? Parasailing is pretty cool to do with friends. I've never done it either, but I've seen videos of people doing it, and obviously it looks more fun when you do it with friends. LMNOP. Oh, Q. Ate Bell. Q.
I'm gonna use Ate Gem's one. She said, quizzes. I think that's fun.
Yeah, no, that's true. I like that. Quizzes. Kuya Nathan also says Q&A, right? Where you kind of like get to know each other. You do those question and answer things. That's cool. I think Tony's is sharing here. I go to my friends' houses to hang out, and then we fall asleep on the couch watching K-drama. Okay, all right. I get that. I get it. Because she said napping earlier. So, okay, that makes sense. Kamelka says here, pickleball with friends. Uh, do you know what pickleball is, Ate Bell?
N- no, I don't know what that is.
I
Is
don't
that
know.
a
It's not I feel like it's a sport because it's got the word ball in there, and it's not one that I am familiar with. Does it involve a pickle? No, it can't, right? But it's called pickleball. Is that like Yeah, I don't know what pickleball is. Kamelka, can you explain to us po what else? What's pickleball? there. But elemental P, Q. I don't think anyone. Oh wait, we've got Q, which is quizzes and Q&A. They've already got R, S, T. Okay, they're already up to T at the bell. All right,
Whoa.
let's see if we can catch up to them. You said you took you said Q R. I'm gonna say running. Running will be is fun to do with friends. Q R S. At the bell, over to you
S. Um,
with the sport. I'm thinking of a sport as well.
Swimming. I think going swimming pool. That would be cool with friends.
Swimming pool, exactly. Kuya Tech, Kuya Nico and Kuya Irene also is joining in. They said sailing. Kuya Nico, Kuya Irene, have you ever been sailing? I've never been sailing. I've been on a boat, but I've never been sailing because I know sailing is a whole different sport. QRST, I'm gonna say trampolining because we've taken our daughter Lena to a trampoline place, and you
Cool.
just jump around, and they've got trampolines on the walls, so you trampoline from the floor onto the wall, and then you bounce off the wall, and you end back up on the. Yeah, it's just trampolines everywhere. So the trampoline place. QRSTU at the bell. Can you think of one for you?
You. Um, I can't think of any on the spot.
We're
It's
almost there.
I know
We
we're
need
almost
you.
there. You. Um, you.
While you're thinking, let me just a quick shout out to our Ohana in live chat that's answering. Let's see, they're up to T still. Oh, they're up to V. Okay, so we've got pickleball from Kamelka. Oh wait, no. Sister Jem says pickleball is a type of sport with a smaller bat and racket. It kind of sounds a little bit like um squash. Is it like squash? That's a sport that we play here in where you're kind of like in a room and you have a little ball and racket and you're just like hitting it. It's like, is it like squash? Anyway, let us know. Kuya Nathan says, I'm not sure how to pronounce that word. Angulate riding. I don't know what that is. Horses are angulate. So basically like horseback riding. Uh,
For me,
Sister
you.
that's for you.
I'll say ukulele. That's a,
Ukulele,
yeah. You can
right?
play this with friends. Yeah.
Learning it as well with friends is fun. QRS, Sister Jem is saying surfing, um, between tennis and ping pong. So Ate Care is helping us out with that. Kamelka saying thanks to Sister Jem for the explanation on pickleball. I feel like it's like squash just from that explanation. Traveling, Sister Jem, vote for a place to eat. For Kuya Nathan for the letter V. UFC for Sister Jem. Not sponsored in case if that's a brand, right? And we've got wait, what are we up to now? This is about CQRSTU. Is it V? Am I up
V.
to the letter V?
Yeah. V.
I'm gonna say volleyball. It just because since I know Sister Bell likes volleyball a lot, and volleyball is more fun to play when you've got friends. QRSTUV. We're
W.
almost there. W. Oh,
W.
Kuya Tech
Walk.
says violin.
Oh, violin. That's cool.
Violin for V.
I think walk. Going on a nature walk, or just having a walk with your friends. It's fun.
True. Um, QR, what's next? W. Oh, okay. This one's a hard one. X. WX, right? What's an activity that has X in there? Okay, maybe it doesn't have to begin with the letter X. Xylophoning. Xylophones. So playing the xylophone. Okay. I guess that's an activity. QRX, WX. Sorry. My alphabet is all over the place. What are we up to? X, Y.
Why?
We've got yo-yo. We got Kuya Tech's got yo-yo in there. Uh, Brother
Yeah, just
Nathan also says xylophone. He says water park for W, going to the water park. We got volleyball as well. Walking with friends. Kamelka also says walking with friends. We got yo-yo for Y. And last one, letter Z. Over to you, Atibel. What's a nice one for letter Z? An
zoo.
activity.
Going to the zoo maybe with your
Have you
friends.
zip lining? Okay, Kuya Tech says zip lining. Do you know what that is,
Oh,
Tibel?
Yeah, I tried it once, like with my siblings. That was so fun, and it wasn't just a like one zip line, because it was like it was like it's not a court. It's like a, how do you call it? It's an activity where you have to climb um ropes and like trees, and then there's zip lines. I don't know what you call it there, but yeah, it's just really fun.
Are you like above the trees, or like you're like at the top
Yeah,
of the
you're above
trees?
yeah.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. But I forget the name. The name just it's not coming to me. But I think I know what you're talking about, where you're doing all these activities, climbing, and you've got like an obstacle course, and you're
Yeah.
like on the treetops, right? Okay, all right, that makes sense. But yeah, I think we got the Z. Right? Zip line. We're going to the zoo. We've got a couple of answers from our Ohana there in live chat. Sister Gem says, uh, zebra watching, right? At the zoo. Zebra watching. We've got Kuya Nathan saying xylophone with friends. Sister Gem saying zoo. Brother Nathan saying yogurt or frozen yogurt. We've got zip line there as well. And we got another explanation for pickleball. It's in between tennis and ping pong, and it's in a smaller court. Uh, if you
Oh,
look up the sport squash, so I know squash is also a vegetable. Like a pumpkin, right? But if you look up the sport squash and see if that's the same thing, because I feel like what they're talking about with pickleball is what we call squash here in Australia, right? It's like tennis, but you're both of you are just facing a wall and you're hitting a ball against a wall, like you take turns hitting a ball, and the aim is to hit the ball in a way so that the other person is not able to get to the ball in time. I feel like that sounds like pickleball. But anyway, let us know. We'll do some research and get back to you. And eating, Kuya Tech is saying eating squash. Squash. It's probably squash. It's like that's an activity. But with that, I think we've broken the ice well and truly good. So we're going to, before we move over to our topic discussion, we're going to go ahead and play a quick musical song, couple of songs for you. The next two INC original music that we'll be playing is Share It with the World and Gather Together. But if you do have any song requests, let us know. If you're listening to us live, just write it down there in the live chat section, and we'll get our Kuya Nico and Kuya Irene to try and find it for you, and we can get those song requests played for you on our broadcast today. But these next two songs that we'll be listening to is titled again, Share It with the World and Gathered Together. So don't go anywhere, everyone. Faith and Melody will be right back after our musical break. Take it over, Kritek. Over to you.
shine bright so that your grace can all receive, and all together to you we can sing, champions with the world. I'm gonna sing about the good news in your church. I'm gonna tell them how you sent your son, redeemed us with his blood, and now we're promised salvation in the church of God. I wanna shine with the world. Gonna sing about the good news in your church. I'm gonna tell them how you sent your son, redeemed us with his blood, and now we're promised salvation. I wanna shine with the world. Sing about the good news in your church. I'm gonna tell them how you sent your son, redeemed us with his blood, and now we're promised salvation in the church of Gather together, gather together.
Welcome back, everyone, to Faith and Melody. And just earlier, we've just had our icebreaker so that we were able to break the ice before we get into our topic discussion. And just a quick shout out if you do have any song requests that you, as like, for example, Kamelka Newcomb's there's got her song request, which we'll be playing a little bit in our show. Just let us know in the live chat and just drop it down there, and we'll get our Kuya Nico and Kuya Irene, our brothers there in the main studio, to help us out to play those songs for you. But with that, let's proceed over to the first part of our topic conversation as we discuss today's topic, which is kindness matters. All right, so we all know that kindness has a very important role, not only when we're building connections with our friends and the people around us at work or at school, but also when we're showing kindness to ourselves, right? We need to show kindness not only to other people, but also to us, right? So, to begin our topic conversation about kindness, we want to ask, how do you define kindness? What's your definition of kindness? And over here, you got myself, your Kuya Jay, and also my co host with me, Sister Belle. But of course, everyone there, our Ohana in live chat that's tuning in, that might be listening, we would love to hear your insights on what is your definition of kindness. So, Ate Belle, over to you first. Like, what would your definition be when it comes to the word kindness?
I think kindness for me is the intention of doing something good. Um, and it comes naturally. And yeah, you don't really, it's something that it's genuine in terms of you do it out of love and care. That's what kindness means to me. What about you, KJ?
I agree with that. Totally agree. Where it's like the intention that you have of what you're doing for other people, right? And even to yourself. So that's why I really wanted to also include that in there, that kindness is not just how you treat other people, but you also need to show kindness to yourself, right? Kindness is about, I guess, in a way, it's setting bound, you know, I guess coming from the perspective of a parent as well. Like I'm a parent, and it's just one of those things that I've learned that it makes more sense now that I'm a parent, that my parents used to tell me, was like the importance of, discipline, right? Because showing discipline and correction that parents do to their children is a way to show kindness as well, because it shows that you care, right? Sister Bell said, like the intention of doing something good. And, if the intention that we have it comes from a place of love and care for the other person or even towards ourselves, sometimes we need to correct something, but also to set boundaries and take the necessary actions. Like all of those things is a way to show kindness. That's how I see it anyway. Like that's my definition of kindness. If you're know that somebody is doing something that might be not positive for their future, you want and you care about them. Like, do you just let them keep on doing it, or do you like sort of speak to them and let them know, hey, I don't think that you should be doing that. Kind of just like give them a sense that you're worried or you're concerned about them, right? That's what you would do with a friend. So the intention that you have and even the action is genuine, right? Like we can all be nice, we can all be polite, but I think kindness is just like the next level up from that, right? It's just a little bit more because it comes from a place of concern and it comes from a place of love. I think that's the most important thing, in my opinion. I guess speaking from a parent's point of view as well, is that, when we see our daughter, uh, one of the things when it comes with children is like when they want something, right? They, if they don't get it, usually what happens is that they, what's the word here at the bell? When kids don't get what they want, they usually make a fuss, right? They throw a little bit of a tantrum. They might cry and stuff, like especially young children. That's kind of like the initial reaction that you do, right? But kindness is knowing to is basically being able to teach them what's right and wrong from a parent's point of view. So I think that's the same thing when it comes to like other people. If we care about others and we know that they're doing something that's might not be good for them, I think it's a kind way to sort of speak to them in a private manner, just to let them know, hey, I don't think what you're doing, I think that you could do it in a better way, or I think might be harmful for you, right? Because it comes from a place of love. I don't think that we should be afraid to do that. But that's just my definition of kindness. I know we've got a lot more to talk about there. But one of the things that's also mentioned there, since we're talking about the way that we treat others and the way that we treat ourselves, Atibel, the words that we use and even the actions that we do, how much does that matter in relation to kindness? And while you're sort of formulating your thoughts there, just want to give a quick shout out as well. There in our live chat, there's tuning in. We've got Ka Willen Regalado that's tuning in with us. Hello po, Ka Willen. Thank you so much po for tuning in and always supporting INC Radio and Faith and Melody. And we've also got Ate Melvi Tamayo. Ate Melvi's there sharing her thoughts and insight as well. One of the things that she says when it comes to her definition of kindness, it's exuding warmth, friendliness, and consideration through words and actions. That's why I think this is what I wanted to ask is like, how much do words and actions, how much do those things matter when it comes to kindness or like showing kindness to others and even to yourself? Atibel, over to you. Like, what's your thoughts on this?
It does have a great impact the on how you want to come across to the person that you're being kind to. So it's just a matter of consideration of how you use your words and actions and the tone that you set to it. And yes, it really affects, or it has an impact on how on your approach when you're trying to do something good.
Is there
So
something? Yeah, I was gonna ask if there's like a. Do you have an example?
for example, someone has trouble with, I don't know, maths, something like that, and you're good at maths. But personally, you have a teacher who is a bit more strict, or is just like doesn't use as much kind words to you to teach to you, but then your friend doesn't get it either way. So I think if you change your approach in a way that is more gentle, or it's a more soft approach, then
Mm.
maybe they'll be able to calm down and understand more about maths. I think that's the analogy that that just came across. So I hope that makes sense.
I
Because
think I get you.
the
I
approach
get you.
matters.
It's it's your approach. So basically, how you say the words and the words that you choose to say, right? Kind of like your tone as well. That kind of like that's all part of the approach that you have with with people, right? Like the words that you use, the tone that you use when you say those words to others. If you're helping them, if you're supporting them, if you're cheering them on because they're feeling down, like all of those things are ways to show kindness to others, right? And also your actions. For example, at the I don't know if you've ever had a friend come up to you and they've just bought a nice dress. Let me know if this example is real. But let's say they've just bought a nice dress and they show it to you for the first time, and it's like, "What do you think of this dress? Doesn't this dress isn't this so pretty and beautiful?" And then you tell them, "Okay." It's like,
I think you
uh,
need to be really considerate of the context as well, and the situation itself. If you see that someone is on a really high moment of happiness or excitement, and your response is here, I don't think that will come across as as being kind. I mean, you are being honest, but at the same time,
yeah,
you need to be considerate of how they could how they could see it as.
Interpret, yeah,
Yeah.
the interpretation of what you've just said, and also your actions. Like maybe you're genuinely happy for them, but because you're so stressed or maybe overthinking about other things that's going on in your life, your initial answer is just, oh yeah, that's great, that's fine. But you actually like it, right? But then it's not interesting to you, or it's not really something that you want to focus on right now. It kind of already shows that you're not present in the conversation, right? So I think a way to show kindness is firstly be present, right? Be mindful. Like if you've got your friends, if you've got people that you're talking to, right, and you're out with, with good company, then you want to be present, you want to be aware, you want to be in the moment, as they say, right? So that when they ask you something, it's not like you're just in the middle of scrolling through social media or something like that. But like, oh yeah, yeah, sorry, what did you say again? Like you're not paying attention. So I think kindness is for a start being present, being mindful, right, and being attentive to them. And generally, if you have comments, you can always there's always a nicer way to say it, right? It's like, oh, that's very nice on you. Do you think that do you think it's flattering, or do you think this is nice, or do you like this color, right? Do you think this color matches you? And they say, yeah, yeah, I think this or whatever. Then it's like, that's great. You can support them. You can be supportive. But then, of course, if they're doing something, if it's got to do with something that doesn't align with the values that we hold, especially for us, right? We've got our friends or our loved ones, and they're doing something or talking about something that doesn't align with the values that we hold, especially as members of the Church of Christ. A kind thing to do is also to speak up, right? And kind of just like, hey, I think we need to talk about this, right? And say it in a genuine way to show your concern for them, because that's another thing that we have to remember. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just the parent in me. I'm just thinking about that, but just the way that we approach, like even our daughter, right? It's not a straight out, if she did something wrong, we don't straight out just like yell at her. We kind of just like talk to her calmly, especially her with her overwhelm when it comes to emotions, right? She needs to be able to control those, being having autism and such, that she needs to be able to receive information, and she does that in a calm, when we speak in a calm tone. So I think it's the same thing when we're talking to our friends, right? We should try and speak and control our tone, right? So that we can show that we're expressing it from a place of concern and love. Because most of the time, if you scream and shout, right, if we raise our voice, it doesn't come across in a concerning manner. Most of the time, it could be misinterpreted as anger, right? So we got to be careful with that as well. Because we can show kindness, but we can also show concern at the same time. That's why words and actions do matter, because using the wrong tone, they could misinterpret it what we're saying in the wrong way, right? Just us saying, yeah, that's nice, but then we don't say it enthusiastically enough. They might think otherwise. It's like, oh, they're just saying it because you know but they don't really care, right? So we have to be careful with our words and also our actions. Your words have to match what you do, right? So they always say that actions speak louder than words. And with that, Atiba, like, what's your thoughts when it comes to like the words and actions, especially like the words that we say to ourselves, like when we're talking about how we treat ourselves with kindness. How important are the words and the actions that we use on ourselves when we're trying to treat ourselves with kindness?
I think it's really important that we treat ourselves with kindness, because the more kindness you have within yourself, the more you can share it. And that goes for the love for yourself and for your faith as well as members of the Church of Christ. Because if you have faith, like inside a church, then you're able to share it because you already have it and you already know about the words of God. So that goes for everything else. And kindness is part of one of those things. And yes, it's just really important to balance out being kind, not only to the others, but also to yourself.
That's true. That's true. And like we we're gonna talk about this a little bit more in our a little bit more in our topic later. But when it comes to like, many times we know kind of in a way how to be kind to other people, at least how to be nice and polite. But many times when things are going wrong in our lives and our goals aren't working out the way that we want, usually we have a lot of negative self-talk that happens. Like we blame ourselves a lot. I don't know if you've ever had that, but I know like when I used to work on my goals and work on my plans, but things weren't working out, like many times I've had experiences where I'd always blame me, right? I'd always blame that, oh, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve this, and those sort of things. So you also have to be careful of like the words that you're saying to yourself because it affects you on how you perceive things. And it's only right that the way that we are able to treat kindness and show kindness to other people and those who mean the world to us, the people that we love, like we should know how to love ourselves first, right? I think that's one of the things that we get taught as members of the Church of Christ is like treating our fellow men, right? We should treat them with love and respect, but we should also treat ourselves with love and respect. And that comes with in terms of the words that we use to ourselves and also the actions that we take, right? So we have to be careful with that. And we're going to talk about it a little bit more in our discussion, especially in terms of learning how to be a little bit more kinder and showing a little bit more kindness to others. But before that, Atibel, maybe if you could read we've got a couple of insights and a couple of new listeners that's just tuned in, our Ohana there in live chat. So if you could read a couple of those comments, please.
Yeah, of course. So, um, in terms of the second question, how much do words and actions matter in relation to kindness? Brother Nathaniel said, depends on the person. Some love languages prioritize words or actions. And if you know someone, it helps if you know what they respond to best. And that really makes sense because
That
uh,
makes sense. Yeah.
you have to
I want to
cater.
say something to that, but Atibel, what are you thinking about that one?
I think it's right because you need to cater to their person and their needs. Um, for example, I don't know if like the different love languages, as mentioned in my analogy earlier about maps, maybe the person doesn't respond well to like I don't know, to less interaction or just like less like with a I don't know, with a less soft approach. So if you know that they respond better onto like words of affirmations and
Mm,
I don't know, or like love language. There's touch, right? So like a pat on the back so that you can you can get through that maths exam or whatever it was. I think that it's best if you know so that you can cater
yeah.
to that, and that helps. That
Yeah,
helps this.
because the thing that reminded me about that is exactly that. Like when it comes to my love language, like my wife knows this. Like I'm more on the physical touch, right? I need a hug.
Oh,
Basically, that's how I like to receive kindness, right? It's like a hug. Um, Words of affirmation or like like when you're just telling people, right? I tell like that's my wife's love language. I know that much, right? So it's good to know each other's love language because you know how to show kindness to them. Some people like gifts, right? I don't know the full love language spectrum, right? Because I know there's a few different ones there, but some people like gifts as well, or some like acts of service. You doing something for them means a lot more than you saying that you care about them or you giving them a hug, right? So it all depends on the individual. So I agree with that with Kuya Nathan. I like that one. I think that might come up again a little bit in the rest of our topic discussion. But sorry, go ahead. Back to you, Atibel.
and then we have Ate Care says, your words and actions should match. Can't have can't have one without the other, and it's better together. And yeah, that is really important as well because you need to also be reliable and trustworthy when you're trying to being kind. Because I mean, when you're being kind, it's being honest as well and being genuine. So that's one of the I think it's really important what Ate Care said. And thank you so much to um I think a word that can oh, Carlos
Yep.
Alvaro just said, I think words can scar a person worse than an action can. So I think it's just really important to be
Mm,
mindful of
that's
what you say and what you do as well. So
because like yeah, words can be hurtful in a way differently from from actions. So that's why it's very important that you're like you said, Atibel, like we have to be careful of the words that we use so that we don't unintentionally, right? We don't intentionally say something that might um that might hurt the other person, especially if we don't mean it, right? We don't mean it to come across that way. You know, that's why when it comes to communication, like especially if you're dealing with a topic or you're trying to resolve a misunderstanding, that you do it face to face, because there's a lot of things when it comes to communicating nowadays on on text messages and stuff like that. Like it's very hard to hear tone when you're reading text messages, you know. So you want to be able to see the person's reaction in their face when you're trying to talk to them, right, to resolve something, because words and actions are very very important. That's true. So quick shout out again, yeah, to Carlos and to Carl Willen Regaladas is still tuning in, to Carl Melvi there. But before we do continue our discussion, we're gonna take another musical break, right? Atibel, we've got our song request, our Faith and Melody Heartbeat. So for Kuya Nico and Kuya Irene can get these next two songs ready. The first INC original music that I'll be listening to is titled Care for Humanity. And the second one is actually requested, song request from our Kamel Kanukum, which is Still Blessed by God. So let's all enjoy these next two songs, and we will be right back with our topic after this musical break. Over to you, Kritek.
Grasping for hope, to love, to fight and call. A land plagued by confusion, outbreaks of desperation. Be strong, don't give up. Help is on the way. God is reaching out to us. Let His kindness see us through. God truly cares for you and me. Let Him take us in His shelter. Feel the warmth of His love. God truly cares for you and me. A call to all human race to be heirs of God's wonderful promises. He cares for all humanity. The chaos of this world has already been foretold. The spread of rampant poverty, disease and calamities. Be strong, don't give up. Help is on the way. God is reaching out to us. Let His kindness see us through. God
perverse generation.
So much cruelty, absence of peace now.
Even in the so-called stronger nations,
The rich, the poor, the young and old all face illness, sweet children.
knowing nothing but extreme misery and sadness.
Not able to find an honest means of living is depressing.
Parents are desperate day to day, challenges are daunting.
Violence and aggression is knocking at the door.
Our heart is searching for serenity and purpose. There's gotta be more worth fighting for.
Let's feed our soul and be nourished.
With food that never spoils and will not perish.
In the Church of Christ will find true redemption.
Redeemed by the precious blood of Christ.
Prophesied as God's nation.
This is a call to every beating heart.
This is a call to every human heart.
Whenever we possibly can, we help those who need it.
It's a command of God to lend a hand to our fellow man. God truly cares for you and me. Let him take us in his shelter. Feel the warmth of his love. God truly cares for you and me. A call to all human race to read the answer of God's wonderful promises. He cares for all humanity.
Your requested song, our favorites, Faith and Melody Heartbeats.
There are moments in your life when you stumble in the dark, when you're struggling to make it through the night. So you close your eyes and pray, and to God you humbly say, I am here, please draw near, show me the way. And you look up to a glimmering night sky, and you smile at the light of the stars. What you feel in the air, what's been there all around you, God's love. You're still blessed by God. And so forth you walk with a spring in your step as you wait for the dawning of day. You fear no shadows that lurk in the dusk, for God's love will light the way. And you look up to a glimmering night sky, and you smile at the light of the stars. What you feel in the air, what's been there all around you, God's love. You're still blessed by God. King God's words ever close to your heart. Don't let go. Hold on of the good fight. No matter the darkness that covers the night, we have God's light. You look up to a glimmering night sky. You will smile at the light of the stars. You will feel it in the air, everywhere, all around you, God's love. You're still blessed by God. To a glimmering night sky. You will smile at the light of the stars. You will feel it in the air, everywhere, all around you, God's love. You're still blessed by God.
Your requested song, our favorites, Faith and Melody Heartbeats.
And that was Care for Humanity and Still Blessed by God. If you would like to listen to more INC music, there's two ways for you to do it. So there's the YouTube channels. We have two YouTube channels, the INC Original Music channel, as well as the Iglesia Ni Cristo Production Company, where they also post various covers by our brethren all around the world. And there's also the INC playlist. So that's a mobile application for both iOS and Android users. And well, back onto our topic discussion. So earlier we talked about what kindness means to us and how our words and actions have an impact on our approach to people. So, and we also mentioned about being kind to ourselves, right? So, how do we learn to be kind to ourselves and others? How do we strike that balance between the two? And yes, I think, like as mentioned earlier, there's a lot of things that we can talk about, and it's just really important to be kind to yourself. So, Kuya Jay, what's your thoughts on this?
It's like exactly what you said. There's a lot of things that we mentioned earlier. Like, for example, knowing your love language and knowing the love language of others, it takes time, right? So I think the number one thing that we have to keep in mind is just like any skill, especially skill that deals with other people, it takes time to develop and for you to understand it, right? I feel like it's not really a skill that gets taught directly in school. It's kind of like it's taught indirectly. It's like if you get into a conflict with your friend and you kind of like have a conflict or a misunderstanding in the playground, as you're growing up and things like that. That's maybe when the teachers will step in. But I don't know. I feel like at least when I was growing up, it wasn't like an actual class that we get taught on how to be considerate and how to be kind to others. It gets taught to you indirectly because you're around other people. And I think over time, as you get older and relationships become more complex, that you just need to develop more experience and more skills in terms of um, on how you treat other people. But I think in terms of being kind, the thing that we hold on to as our our guide to everything are the words of God, right? Especially when we're young. Being a children's worship service teacher myself, it's one of the things that we focus on as well, right? In terms of teaching the young children how to treat each other with kindness, how to have everyone included, right? And how to, we have the love of brotherhood as members of the Church of Christ that we get taught from a very young age. And no matter, what age that we join the church, it's one of the things that we see and we experience as members of the Church of Christ, treating each others as brothers and sisters in the faith. That's why we call each other, Brother Jay, Sister Bell, we treat each other with brother and sister there. That's like it starts it off, right? And obviously the teachings that we get taught during our worship services and that they help guide us in the manner that we should treat one another, right? So everything comes from a place of love, but in terms of the actual other acts to improve on it, it comes from experience. In my personal point of view, you develop it through experience and just learning that people have different ways on how they accept your love, right? So that's why knowing each other's love language, oh sure, maybe that pat on the back works for you, like it for me, right? Like, that probably works. But then maybe for somebody else, they just want the words of encouragement. They just want to know that you're there, right? They just want to know that they're not alone. Those sort of things. And you need to know that. You learn that as you get older and wiser. Let's just say you get wiser in your journey in this life, right? You just learn more things like that. So it's good to be able to learn those through the different platforms that we have, especially it's highly integrated in our faith when we listen to programs like here on INC Radio. We have a lot of different topics that gets brought up on the different shows that we have here on INC Radio, where they talk things about, the proper emotional regulation, building strong connections with friends, how we should treat our friends and make friends and all of those different things. We watch and listen to those, and it gives us more of a stepping stone to improve our own skills to become better in building that connections with others. So I think that's like one starting point in terms of learning to be kind to others. How about you, Etibel? What's your thoughts on that, on
Yeah,
your
I
own question?
agree with you. It's through experience, and it's not something you don't learn overnight. It's not
No,
something
yeah.
that comes like natural. I mean, it can come naturally when you're exposed to it a lot of times, but like it doesn't come like it doesn't it doesn't switch like that. It doesn't work like that. So yeah, being able to put that into practice, it's really important in your everyday lives. And yes, being considerate as well, as you mentioned earlier about the different ways to cater to someone. That's being considerate because you are considering how they would like to be approached, how they would like to be helped, how they would like to feel loved. So be considerate in those certain ways and other different
Mm,
factors as well. That will help on learning how to be kind to them. And in terms of being kind to yourself, I think you should always take some time, give time, make time for yourself when it comes to being kind to yourself, because a lot of times we also tend to forget, especially when we're in a difficult situation or a stressful situation, that we need to relax, we need to rest up, especially um, because if we're not able to recharge, then how are you going to be able to um, continue on or um, get through that situation? I think I mentioned this early, not earlier, but like in a different, in an earlier show about how it's like with our phones, you know how it has a battery, like 100% battery, um, and by the time we've used it all, it's gonna be low bat or out of charge. So that goes for us as well. I mean, we're not robots, but in terms of um, our own capabilities, we have our limitations, and we need to rest as well. And if we're able to give time and be patient with ourselves, then all the more we'll be able to um, be kind to others. And I think that's how you're able to also strike a balance between being kind to yourself while also being kind to others, because it's really important that you don't overdo one of the two. I think
mm.
there needs to be a balance so that you don't struggle in any of the two sides, and you don't feel, I mean, you don't feel guilty, or you don't feel, I don't know how to say it, but sometimes when you feel like you're not kind to someone or to yourself, you feel like you overthink it, or you feel guilty about it. So I think it's a matter of like being aware and considerate of your own actions and your own words as well, of course.
I think the other thing I wanted to add on to that, Atibel, is also like when it comes to being kind to yourself, you need to also learn to set boundaries, right, on things where you won't overstep, like even and also respecting those boundaries, right, and being able to communicate it to the people around you, right, to say, hey, I need some time just to recover because I've just been busy with this or busy with that, right. I need to just take a moment just to recoup my energy, to recharge my battery pack, right, so that I can face this one, because otherwise it's just I'm not going to be able to perform at my best. You know, like one of those things that we get reminded is we have to take care of our health too, right? And I think many times we give so much to other people. We give, you know, because we want to help. You know, I think that's just one of the nature that we have as Christians, right? Or as we grow up, many times, you know, it could be from the examples of our parents, or maybe the examples from our older siblings. Like we see them constantly going out of their way, helping the neighbor, helping their friends, helping other people. And it's like they set that example, and we try to live up to it as well. And we maybe sometimes we forget that we also need time to look after ourselves. So learning to be kind to yourself, I think, also takes as much time to learn as learning to show kindness to others. I think learning to kindness to others is almost like something you learn as you grow through life. But being kind to yourself, many times I know people are harder on themselves than kinder to themselves, if that makes sense, right? Like I know for me, I was more of the person that didn't know how to be kind to myself. And I have friends and other people that I know in my life that might still be in the same boat. So I think what's important to know is that you need to set boundaries and know when you need to take a break, when you need some time to re-energize and look after yourself. Because the way that you can help others even more better without burning out, without getting too overwhelmed, is that if you give that same care back to you, right? I
Yes.
know so many people that don't take a nap. They don't get enough sleep, right? And that deteriorates their health over time. Like you may not feel it straight away. You might be doing it for like, oh, I've been doing this for like a year and you're not feeling it, but then all of a sudden, right, you'll just get sick. So you just got to really be careful as well on how much that is, and you give time for you to recover, for you to take care of yourself, because
Yeah.
that's also kindness. Like as a father, uh, one of the things that worries me is not being able to be healthy enough to be there to provide for my family, to take care of my kid, to take care of our daughter, to also help her as she's growing up, to be supportive to my wife because I'm sick. Like I don't want to be in that position. So I know that taking care of me is the same way as saying that I'm trying to make sure that I'm healthy so that I can take care of you, that I can provide for my loved ones. So that's very important to learn. We kind of forget that. We just think that everything's just go, 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 right? Everything's like always like just don't stop and whatever. And you just got to remember that taking a break, taking a step back, taking a breather to recharge is just as important for you to
Mm,
propel yourself even further. And with that, I think it's a good time for us to switch over to the the challenges part, right, at develop because like all of these things, learning to be kind to others and to yourself, that's well and good. Like you got people to we can use as influences, good influence and good examples. But it's true, right? There's challenges when it comes to being kind to others and even to yourself, right? So I'm gonna hear from you first, Ate Bel, like, and also for our Ohana there that's tuned in. Like, what challenges have you encountered when you're trying to be kind, when you're trying to show kindness to others or even to yourself? What are some of those challenges? How did you overcome them? Before I get Ate Bel to answer, I just want to read one of the responses from Carlos Alvaro. So from her insights on our earlier question on learning to be kind to ourselves and others, she says, number one, give yourself a break, right? Number two, don't put too much pressure in anything you do. And number three, learn to value yourself more. Number four, trust and believe. And number five, maintain your faith, love, and hope. That should cover it all. I agree. I think that covers it very nicely, Carlos. Like there's a lot of great insights there. So share with us as well. What's your thoughts on this? What are some challenges that you might experience when you're showing kindness to other people or showing kindness to yourself? How are you able to overcome it? Atibel, over to you first.
Um, I think it's really important to um, respect their boundaries when it comes to being kind to other people. There's some instances where your help is not needed, although you want to help them. You see that they're in need or they're struggling with something, but sometimes they don't accept it the way you want them to accept it because they want to do it on their own, or they just
They want to learn on their own too. Like they want to.
yes, they they basically want to be able to um, get through it with their own capabilities, and uh, just the fact that they know that you're there for them, I think that's more than enough in certain occasions. So I think that's one of the challenges that I've encountered so far. Being able to, uh, I mean, being able to offer your help, that's already a kind gesture, but also being able to regulate when to give it, when especially when someone um, is communicating to you that um, they don't really need your help, then we should also be able to respect that, right? So I think it's just really important to balance out, I mean, not balance out, to respect their boundaries and being understanding of their situation as well. And sometimes being kind doesn't have to be like direct. It can be indirect as well, like just having the thought of them in your head about being
Mm,
concerned about them. That's already being kind because you're already caring for them from afar. And the fact that you're trying to help them through certain to other means, then that's also being kind. So there's different ways for you to be kind. And yes, we just need to be able to respect the boundaries. I think that's one of the challenges that I've experienced so far. When it comes to being kind, we shouldn't really take it personally when when they refuse, or like they kindly like decline your offer of help. I think we just need to be like open to that as well, and you know, be there for them in other ways. But what
but
about you? AJ? What do you think? Like the challenge, like, what challenges you encountered? Like how did
uh,
you get through them?
your one makes sense, right? And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna give this example from. It's a very simple example because it's from like a a parent child kind of thing, right? Because challenges makes us stronger. Wouldn't you agree? Right? Like challenges that we go through, the struggles, us being actually the one ourselves to figure out the solution to our problem and overcome it is what makes us more resilient and more experienced, and we feel tougher the next, or more confident the next challenge that we experience, right? So that's why challenges sometimes we need to do it ourselves. And as a friend, as someone, as a parent, right, like what you said, being there to show support and to let them know that I'm here for you, I'm cheering you on is enough. This example, very simple parent-child example that I'm going to share with my daughter, but I think you can extrapolate this to like an older, more, like, people our age, basically, right? Some different examples our age, but like, we always want to like help our daughter, and one of the things that she has trouble with is putting on her socks. So we would always just do it for her, and if you always just do that, like, it's harder for them to learn how to do it themselves. So we we stopped basically, right? And it's not to be mean, it's so that we can help her to become more, well, apart from being independent, to figure it out, right? To get the skills to problem solve, basically. And recently, actually, it was just this morning, right? Earlier today, like, we took off her socks and all of that, and then we were just playing. Then all of a sudden, she's wearing socks again, and I'm like, I went to Jem. I was like, "Did you put her socks back on?" And she's like, "No, did you?" And I'm like, "I didn't do it." She's like, "Lena, did you put the socks on yourself?" And there was no one else because obviously it was her, right? And we were so proud of her because she figured out how to do it herself. And seriously, the amount of joy that we had, we teared up, right? In terms of her, like, just figuring it out herself. I mean, like, it was, yeah, I can't explain it, but basically it's that. It's like sometimes giving them that space to figure things out themselves, but still being there, like letting them know, hey, I'm here for you. Let me know if you want to talk. Let me know if you want to get some ideas from me, or let me know if you want me to distract you, right? Just giving them some options or something like that. Just let them know that they're not alone, that they still feel valued by you. Like, you still care about them. It's enough for them to try and figure it out themselves. And then they've always got you to fall back on, right? I mean, like, we're there, we're just watching her. We try to help her. Okay, yeah, yeah, you pull, and you put it on. And then she just did it all on her own now. And we couldn't be more prouder of her. But I feel like that same example, I don't know, I know it's a simple one. You can extrapolate that to a larger one. When you've got a friend that's in need, sometimes it's not about you fixing the problem for them. It's all they need is just to know that you're there, right? You know that you're supported, that they're thinking about you, that you're praying, right? That they're praying for you to our Almighty God for the, to give you the things that you need. I think that's more than enough sometimes, you know. One other thing that comes to mind in terms of challenges when you're trying to be kind to yourself and to others is social media. I'm gonna have to say this because it was one of the challenges that I went through. Is that when you surround yourself with a lot of things that are outside your control and they affect you in a negative way, which is many times things that you see on social media or on the news, and that's where you start your day, right? It's not a very um, energizing place to begin your day and to start it off right. So you got to be careful on kind of like what you're letting into your brain and into your head, right? The content that you consume, because those are the things that could affect like how you see things. And then because maybe you've seen some bad news, you've seen some negative things on social media, that might be what is stopping you to be mindful, to be present when you're with your loved ones, with um, your friends and people that you care about, because all you're thinking about are just like negative things. So you also have to be careful about that, because generally that's one of those challenges. Like you forget to be kind is because you're worried or stressed about other things, maybe things from work or even things from social media. So a lot of those things, it shouldn't affect as much as possible. You have to be careful that it doesn't affect the relationships that you have with people and showing that you care for them. So one of the things that I did, I've mentioned this a few times, is that a lot of my social media stuff, like all of those ones out there that doesn't serve me at the moment, I kind of I've closed those accounts for now. I think the only thing that I have is YouTube, which is still a bit of a distraction sometimes, because there's a lot of like recipes and quick tips and things like that you can watch on YouTube. But there's a lot of other things out there that if you kind of get consumed in it, you forget, the more important things in life. So that's one other thing for me. How about you, Atibel? Do you have any others that you wanted to share um, regarding challenges when it comes to being kind? Actually, we've got a couple of responses from our Ohana there in live chat. Shout out to Kuya Brian Torres that's there, that's also sharing their insights. Carlos Alvaro is still there. Our executive producer of Faith and Melody at the desk is also there in live chat, and at the Tony Rose. Um, Maybe if you could read Kuya Brian's one before we take another break.
Yeah, of course. So, okay, Brian said one challenge I've encountered was when I show kindness, they take it that I need something from them, but I'm just genuinely being nice or kind. I was able to overcome it by being nice and kind at all times. I think that's also something that I personally went through. Like, I think it's being just be kind. I mean, most of the time it's just easier to put into practice multiple times rather than just once in a while, so that you're able to, you know, truly show that you're genuine to them. But yes, thank you, brother Brian, for uh, sharing that with us. And Luz Alvar also said that the only challenge I encountered when showing kindness is being taken advantage of to a point that it affects my self esteem. Being INC helps me overcome that challenge now. I just accept what it is and pray. I think uh, I think it's just really important to put boundaries when it comes to being kind. So thank you, Polka Luz, for sharing that. And I'm glad that being an IC or an English and Crystal member, it, it really helps our faith. Yes. And Sister Kara said, sometimes being kind doesn't mean it is reciprocated. And sometimes being kind, you don't get a thank you, but it's okay. If it's from the heart and given with love, it overcomes all. And yes, thank you,
I think
Sister.
you said that as well at the bell, right? Like showing kindness to others should come from the heart. It's not a transaction, right? I think you mentioned that before, previously as well, or before. Like when you do something kind for someone, it's because you truly care. It's not because you expect something back. It's not like I'll give this, I'll give you this, but later on you gotta give it to me back, or
Yeah,
it's not a transaction,
it's not
right?
transactional. It's something that,
No,
and if they do something for you as well, like you don't have to like owe them if it's
yeah,
something, if it was
exactly.
something genuine. Unless like if you feel that way, then I think you're just being too kind because you're like, oh, they're so kind to me, then I want to be kind to them. Then that's a different story. But if you feel like you owe them, then I think that's, you need to be able to um put some boundaries in terms of that. And yes, it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be transactional. It's really important, because otherwise it's not kindness anymore. It's just like being polite and being nice, like sometimes, or just when you need to, or when you need them to. So yeah, it's just really important to, you know be genuine. And Sister Dessa Senas, our executive producer, said, don't compete or compare whose pain is worse. I think that's also, that goes into play when it comes to being considerate,
Mm.
uh, and you're trying to be there for someone. I think that is something important to put into consideration. And yes, with that said, um, let's take a quick break since we still have our last leg of our discussion. So thank you so much to everyone who were able to open up to us and to share their story and share their kindness to us. And yes, for our next song, we have our Bagong Buhay. I hope that you enjoy.
Magbagong buhay. Iyo bang narinig ang panawagan na ikaw at ako, ating buong sambahayan, na tayo ay magbagong buhay? Kaya wait, tayo mag-isip, baka tayo maging kampante at tayo makaidlip. Ang kalaban ay nag-aabang, gumising tayo at wag pa tayo. Kaya isip ng isipan, magbago na. Until today, alis na. Issue kalayuan ay layuan na. Tayo magbagong buhay, nang maging sakdal na tunay. Huwag natin sayangin ang lahat ng ating pagpapagal. Our salvation is this. Always remember, tayong lahat ay member. INC, kaya dapat lagi tayong magbabagong buhay. 100% iglesia, tayo rin ay magsalita. Kaya naman huwag nang iisipan na magpasakop sa pamamahala. Huwag na huwag lalaban, hindi magbigay ng kaaliwan. Sunod sa kanila ay pagsunod sa Ama. Kaya isa't ang isip at magbago na. Ang tisot ay alisin na. Issue kalayuan ay layuan na. Tayo na bagong buhay, nang maging sakdal na tunay. Huwag natin sayangin ang lahat ng ating pagpapagal. Our salvation is this. Always remember, tayong lahat ay member. INC, kaya dapat lagi tayong magbabagong
Huwag isipin
buhay.
mahirap magbago. Sige, tuloy-tuloy lang hanggang sa marating ang pagbabagong buhay na marapat nating isakatuparan na panawagan sa atin. Basta tuwag lang negatibo, dapat kumbinsido. Diretso lang ang tingin sa daan ng pagbabago. Ito ang susi para makamit ang buhay na walang hangganan sa ating ipinangako. Huwag nang intindihin mga taong nanguupad. Gawin lagi ang utos ng Diyos at lagi magtapat. Huwag pababayaan ang pagsamba sa tungkulin ni magtalaga. Lagi sumunod sa inilagay na pamamahala.
Kaya mula ngayon itong dapat na nasa isip. Magpumili, magkalimut sa isip, huwag iwaglit. Mag-B-A-G-O-N-G, B-U-H-A-Y. Mag-B-A-G-O-N-G,
Tayo
B-U-H-A-Y.
ang bagong buhay, nang maging sakdal na tunay. Huwag natin sayangin ang lahat ng ating pagpapagal. Our salvation is this.
everyone to Faith and Melody. And we've been talking about kindness matters because it does, right? We just mentioned earlier like why kindness is important, how we can learn or improve how we show kindness to others, especially with the different people in our lives, but then also how we can overcome some of the challenges when it comes to kindness. So with that, as we come to the final stretch of our topic for today, what we want to know is when it comes to kindness, I know that there are challenges there, but how can we encourage others to be kind? What can we do? Like earlier in our conversation, we talked about how important are the words and even the actions that we do when it comes to kindness. So, how can we show or encourage those around us? Maybe indirectly, maybe not, hey, be kind, not being directly going up to them, you should be kind, right? Like, how can we show or encourage others to be kind? Atibel.
Okay, I think
Sige lang.
sorry, that made me laugh. So
I think smiling is a good start, right? I think if you just have an attitude, you walk into the room and you got a positive attitude about you, and you're just smiling and happy. That kind of already starts to you start becoming an example of someone that's kind, right? But yeah, anyway, what were you gonna say?
I think being able to put that into practice first, that that will encourage other people to be kind, because once you once you do something kind to someone, then it either inspires them or someone who saw you doing it, and inspires yourself as well to do more. So I think being an example, being the first one to be kind, will encourage others to be kind. What about you, PJ?
I think we mentioned earlier the importance of starting your day right and not just being bombarded by with negative news or negative things on social media, right? One of my tips is if you are the type of person that wakes up first thing in the morning, and obviously after our prayers, like our morning, to pray to our Almighty God for thanks and all of that, which is also a good starting point to give you an attitude of gratitude, is to pray to our Almighty God in the morning, because you then start counting all the good things in your life, and then that starts to bring forth a smile, right? And starts to lighten the load on your shoulders, make your heart full, right? And then you approach the world in a more positive, with a more positive attitude. But I think also, if you are the type of person that does wake up and the next thing that you do is you pick up your phone and you scroll through, instead of going to other social media, go to YouTube, INCRadio DZM954, see what's playing, see what they're talking about, see what people are sharing, because most of the time, you're going to pick up some great habits, right? Some great new insights and perspectives from the different topics throughout the day here on INC Radio. So I think that should be like almost it should always be a bookmark, right? On your home screen, on your smartphone. So you can just click it and it takes you straight to the channel and you can see what's playing and you can see what people are talking about. Because most of the times that starts off your day with gratitude, with thanks. And if you're starting off in a positive note because of the different things that we have on different platforms online, uh, I think that will help you to uh, start sharing those things, because it's so easy for us to share it as well, right? Like right now, we've got some viewers that's tuning in right now. If you're enjoying this conversation and or any conversation that you hear on INC Radio, there's a share button there, right? You got subscribe, you've got like, you've got share. And then you can simply hit that share button and you can copy the link and you can send that to your friends. And that's how you can show others like things of kindness. Not only this, maybe we've got so much other. We've got our verse of the week, and we've got one prepared for this week here on Faith and Melody that we're playing in a little bit. But we've got verse of the week, a quick one, just to sort of your day right. Share that to your friend, share that to your loved ones, right? There's like so much little things that we have from the Church of Christ that is there on different social media platforms as well. Like if you're one of the ones that use all of those different platforms, we have a channel there from the church as well that you can go to, and you can just hit share and share that to your friends, to your loved ones, to your own stories, what they call it, right? Like your what you have on your social media stuff. So that's a way for us to encourage others. And I think it shouldn't go past us saying that one of the things that we've relaunched this year is the INC Giving Initiative, right? That project, the INC Giving project, where we can do good and share and show kindness to others, especially those who are in need, right? Like all the different um, congregations that we have all over the world are doing volunteer work, servicing and helping out those in need in their own communities there, all within the INC Giving project that we have. So that's a nice way for us to encourage others to be kind, because we can invite our friends to volunteer with us. You're doing a blood donation, right, to help those for the blood banks. You can encourage your friends to also join, because that's an act of kindness, and they can see the other works that we do to help out those in need. But with that, I think just to sort of round off this discussion, Atibel, um, before we answer the last part of this, I'll get you to read the insights from our live chat there. But if you want to start typing for our Ohana that's tuned in with us, as members of the Church of Christ, just to finish off the topic discussion that we have here, how do you make kindness a daily habit? Right? As Church of Christ members, how do you personally make kindness a daily habit? What do you do to make kindness a daily habit? So as you're typing out your answers there uh, in the live chat, Atibel, maybe we can read a few of the insights that they shared on how we can encourage others to be kind?
So Ate Tony said, "Do it even if it's hard," and that goes to show that you're really genuine. And Carlos Alvarez said, "Leading by example is how we can encourage others to be kind as well," like I mentioned earlier. And thank you, Paul. And then, uh, Brother Brian said, "I tell others to be kind because it's God's commandments to be one." We also don't know what others go through, and being kind goes a long way. It also feels good to be kind. And yes, in terms of um, making kindness a daily habit as members of the Church of Christ, I think we need to put in consideration that we are the lights of the world. So we are the ones that should be able to be uh, to shine upon the others, especially in times of need, and doing good to others and being kind. That's how we were able to make it a daily habit, because we have to put into practice every day, and it's a commandment of our Almighty God. So uh, being mindful that we are the ones who should be influencing the world, that right now is not getting any better, and it's just really difficult right now. There's so many challenges, so many trials and afflictions. So as as members of the Church of Christ and as lights of the world, let's be kind, and
Mm.
yes, let's be there for one another.
I'm gonna bounce off what Kuya Brian said there, because I really love it when he says we also don't know what others are going through, so being kind goes a long way. So just I think that's one thing that ever since I've heard that, and the first place that I heard that was here on INC Radio, right? Like we don't know what other problems people are going through, and like I never realized it. Like yeah, that's so true, right? And so just smiling and treating each other with love, with kindness, it really does go a long way, because many of us put on a charade or a face of just we're smiling, smiling
Yeah.
through the pain, right? We're smiling through the challenges that we're going through, because we don't want to burden others, but we have our own problems. And if we just remember that all of us have our own struggles that we're going through, that makes it even more important just to remember that and just treat everyone with a little bit of kindness goes a long way. A little smile, right, can mean the world to someone. A little, how are you? You look great today. A little compliment, right, that comes from the heart. It really does mean the world to someone. Right? Hey, I thought of you today. I got you this because I was thinking about you on the way to work or on the way to school or whatever it is. It really does make the whole world a nicer place when we're treating each other with kindness. So just find those little opportunities. Set that as like a one of your mini goals. You've got your focus goals for the day, those big goals that you're working on for the day. But one of your little sideline quests, as they say in gamer term, right? Your little sideline quest for each day is just to put a smile on somebody's face, on anyone's face. Like find someone there, and that will go a long way. And I think as Church of Christ members, that's to start it off, right? You start off that whole work of being lights of the world, especially with all the challenges that people go through there. And hopefully, we've encouraged some of you that's tuned in there to make that as a little goal each day, like one of your small goals. You got your big goal, and you got a little sideline quest, small goal to do here. Put a smile, and you put their name. Put a smile on Ati Tony's face. Put a smile on Ati Bell's face. Whatever that means. Hopefully, with this conversation and this topic, we put a smile on your face as well. And we made you happy in a bit and also brought forth some new thoughts and ideas and insights and perspectives to help you improve as well as we all learn how to be kinder together. And with that, I just want to read the last insight from our Ate Tony before we move on to the verse of the week. The Tony shares here intention plus mindfulness of who you want to be for yourself and for others, to give others a good experience and let them feel God's love through you. Definitely a great thing to always remember. And so, with that, we've loved hearing Ohana. We thank you so much for joining with us on our topic today, sharing with us your own experiences, sharing with us your own thoughts and perspectives as well. We love it because we all learn from each other and we've all grown together. I feel like, when we have conversations like this. But of course, we also love receiving the little messages that we do receive, especially from our verse of the week. So this verse of the week, titled "Speak Kindly to Others," of course, is read by our minister of the gospel, Brother Felmar Sereno. So let's all listen to this week's verse of the week.
Here's the thing, words matter. What we say and how we say it can have a big impact on those around us. So it's vital we choose our words carefully, especially when we're stressed out or in the middle of a heated conversation. So what kind of words should we be using? Hi, I'm Brother Felmar Sereno, and that's what we'll answer in our verse of the week, here in Ephesians chapter 4 and the verses 29. Do not use harmful words, but only helpful words, the kind that build up and provide what is needed, so that what you say will do good to those who hear you. When talking with our spouse, our children, our friends, or whoever it may be, what kind of words should we be using? The Bible teaches only helpful words. What are helpful words? The kind that build up and provide what is needed. What impact will it have when we use helpful words? What you say will do good to those who hear you, the Bible says. Now, should we also use kind or helpful words when we're talking to someone online or on social media? Of course, because we members of the Church of Christ, we're Christians all the time, even online. Now, while there is a lot of anger in the world these days, or we're frustrated or burnt out, that's not an excuse to use harmful words. That should give us more of a reason to speak with kindness or use helpful words, which reflect the values true Christians uphold. To our friends, if you'd like to learn more about what the Bible says on how to live a true Christian life, visit us at incmedia.org for more Christian content like this. Or if you'd like, connect with a minister in the Church of Christ and study God's words straight from the Bible. There's no catch, no fees, just truth. That's our verse of the week. Stay safe, stay strong, stay faithful. God bless.
And that was our verse of the week. And if you have any questions or would like to know more about our church or our faith here inside the Iglesia Ni Cristo Church of Christ, feel free to contact us on our various social media channels or just email us on faithandmelody@incradio.net. And yes, QJ, do you have any shout outs or greetings that you would like to say?
Just a quick shout out to everyone, of course, that's been tuning in, that's been sharing. Kamelka Nukum still there, to Tony, Kuya Brian, Carlos Alvaro, William Regalado, and Kuya Nathan, and all the others that's tuned in and shared their thoughts and insights. Quick shout out as well to my beautiful wife, Sister Jem Esperanza, and to our daughter Lena, of course, and to everyone there. Thank you so much for always tuning in. Before I go through with our outro, Ate, and do you have any shout outs?
I would like to greet everyone a happy Monday or Tuesday, wherever you are. And thank you so much for your insights and your advice. It's really inspiring, and I hope that this show also inspired you even more. And yes, I would also like to greet my family, my mom, Aterika, Arian, Samson, Dandan, and yes, everyone else who will be tuning in our replay.
That's right. If you did enjoy this, make sure that you do share it as well to your friends and to your loved ones. But if you are currently watching us live or watching or listening to us on our replay episodes, make sure that you also come and join us live on our YouTube channel. We're here live every Monday to Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time for those in the US. For our Filipino or Philippine, those in the Philippine you can tune in with us live Tuesday to Friday at 12:01 a.m. So that's basically midnight Tuesday to Friday. You can tune in with us as well, and we would love to hear your insights as well. We try to speak in Tagalog. We would try. But with that, again, thank you to everyone, to all the listeners and viewers, our Ohana in live chat, Sister Bell. Thank you so much for joining me as well today. Shout out to Sister Erica for producing today's topic, as well to our technical team there in the main studio, our Kuya Nico and Kuya Irene. Maraming salamat po, Kuyas. Thank you so much for being with us and helping us throughout our broadcast today. And of course, to our Sister Desicenas and to Brother Edwin Asabuke. And we will never forget to show our gratitude and thanks to our CEBSI President, CEO, and CFO Coordinator, Brother Angelo Iranio Manalo, and also to our Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. Thank you so much for giving us platforms such as this so that we can share our faith, but also to connect with all of our friends and our brothers and sisters there all over the world. Over to you, Tibel.
And for our next program, we have Iglesia Ni Cristo and the Bible. And for today's topic, it's upholding Christian culture with Brother Ariel Evangelista. And for our closing song for today's show, it'll be the INC original music entitled "I Am Happy." I'm your sister Arabelle or Bell, and your Kuya J. And we hope that we've made the start of your week extra meaningful. And continue to invite more of your friends to join us again tomorrow and on the next episode of Faith and Melody and the other days of the week. And continue to stay safe, everyone. Thank you so much. See you. Take
Thank you,
care.
everyone. Keep smiling. Have a great start to your week. See you on the next one.
Troubles in this life may come, but that's okay. I'll still be happy anyway. This world may try to bring me down, but I won't mind. I'll still be happy all the time. For my Lord Jesus Christ has said, His power is made perfect in me. During times when I'm weak, I'm not alone. So always hold on. I'll be brave and be glad when trouble is near. Then I'm weak, I am strong, for His power lives in me. There is nothing that can take Bring honor to my Lord. For my Lord Jesus Christ has said, His power is perfect in me. During times when I'm weak, I'm not alone. So I'll always hold on. I'll be brave and be glad when trouble is near. When I'm weak, I am strong. For His power lives in me. There is nothing that can take me away from my Lord. I am happy, so happy, for I feel I'll be brave and be glad when trouble is near. When I'm weak, I am strong. For His power lives in me. There is nothing that can take me away from my Lord. I am happy, so happy, for I feel His love for me. I am happy, for I am a member of the Church of Christ.
Ito ang INCRadio, DZEM 954, ang tinig ng katotohanan, himpilan ng Iglesia ni Cristo, sumasa